In this video, we will learn about graphical representation of speed. We can also present a given information in the pictorial form. The data presented in the form of picture is called a pictograph. The presentation of an information or data in the form of a graph is called graphical representation. Now, graphs are of various types. There are bar graphs, pie charts, and line graphs. Bar graphs are the pictorial representation of data in the form of vertical or horizontal rectangular bars, where the length of bars are proportional to the measure of data. So here, these are the bars, and this diagram is the bar chart. Or a pie chart is a type of graph that represents the data in the circular graph. The slices of pie show the relative size of the data. So these are the slices, and this is a pie chart. Then line graph is a unique graph that represents the change in a quantity with respect to another quantity. This variation is usually plotted in two-dimensional xy plane, and the graph is obtained by joining points with straight line. So this is the two-dimensional plane, and this is straight line, and hence this is the line graph. So we have discussed three types of graphs. Then elements of a graph and steps to draw a graph. A graph paper is divided into four equal parts by two perpendicular lines meeting at a common point O, which is known as origin of the graph. So this is the origin of the graph. The perpendicular lines are known as the axis of the graph. So this is an axis, as well as this is also an axis. As shown in the figure, the horizontal line x-OX is known as x-axis. So this is the x-axis, and the vertical line y-OY is known as the y-axis. So this is the y-axis. The values of two interrelated quantities are represented on these two axes. The values of two given quantities presented in a tabular form comprise data. An appropriate scale is chosen to represent the values of two given quantities. To draw a graph, following steps are followed. First, drawing the axis, then choosing an appropriate scale, and then presentation of data onto axis. Then distance time graph. A distance time graph is a graphical representation which depicts an interrelationship between two quantities, that is distance and time. It is presented by a line graph. Now drawing a distance time graph. To plot a distance time graph, let us consider the distance covered by a motorcyclist during given intervals of time in the given data. The data can be represented on a graph as follows. First, draw two perpendicular lines, the axis x-OX and y-OY, meeting at point O. So this is the point O, and this is the origin, and these are the axis y, O, y dash. This is the y-axis, and this is x, O, x dash, and this is the x-axis. Select quantities to be represented along the x-axis and y-axis. Here we represent time along x-axis and distance along y-axis. So along x-axis we are plotting the time, and along y-axis we are plotting the distance. Choose appropriate scales to represent the distance and the time. Here the scale is, for time we are taking 1 centimeter on the graph paper is equal to 5 minutes, and 1 centimeter on the graph paper is equal to 2 kilometer. Then write the quantity and its unit along the axis that represent it. So we have written here distance with the unit kilometer and time with the unit minute. Mark or plot the values given in the time column using the x-axis and their corresponding values of distance along y-axis. For example, find the point that represents 5 minutes on x-axis. So this is the point representing 5 minutes on x-axis. From this point, draw a line parallel to y-axis. So this is the line parallel to y-axis. Now draw a line parallel to x-axis from the point corresponding to 2 km on y-axis. So on y-axis, this is the point corresponding to 2 km, and we are drawing again a line. Mark the intersecting point of these two lines by a dark dot and encircle it. So this is the point of intersection. We are marking it and encircling it, and do the same for the other values. So from the time column we are taking different times, like we are taking here 20 minutes, and from the distance column we are taking the corresponding value of distance like 8 kilometer, and we are finding them on the graph. Say this is 20 minute on the x-axis, and this is 8 kilometer on y-axis. So we are now drawing the perpendicular lines, and from the lines we get the intersection point. We are marking and encircling it, and same we are doing for all the points of intersection, and finally join all the points with a continuous line meeting at O. So this is the continuous line, and this meets at O, that is the origin. The distance time graph obtained here is a straight line that is passing through the origin. I hope this topic is clear to you. Thank you.